Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in miniature, and I don't have much of a miniature to show you today, but I do have something obscure. This is the Zhao Workshop Saint Armor Redeem in a very bashed up box. It did not survive getting across the ocean and continents very well, but it is an interesting looking kit. It's got a really different paint scheme, color scheme, whatever, and it looks like it has a complete skeleton inside, and it's got these really weird vernier thruster weapon thingies. I don't know what to make of it. It just, something about it I liked. It's got this weird, like, spear of Longinus twisty blade thing. Oh, God, it's heavy, too, and you can hear lots of stuff flopping around inside there. And it's got this weird cross-stream jet thruster. I don't know what's going on. I want to put it together. I'm really curious about this one. Interesting base. Transparent red parts. Transparent orange parts. Black parts. Red parts. So many parts. Doubled sprues, and it's got this kind of light purple. Open it to show you guys. I love the fact that I'm like fighting with this stupid plastic wrap, and I've got an X-Acto knife like right here that I can be using. So it's got this kind of light purple look to it. You don't see that very often in mecha kits. And then these dark blue, almost purplish parts as well. Lots of black sprues, more dark blues, more black parts, more black parts. Yeah, I thought it was blue, but it really is more of a purple. What looks to be... Okay, cool. Both of the... Ooh, what's going on there? You have both orange and red transparent blades. It's kind of cool. Parts for the base. And finally, at the very bottom of all this, what I really want to find and show you guys... Man, this is going to be a big cleanup on this one. I wonder what all the noise was in there banging around. Oy, the instructions. It's heavy. Hey, I thought that had a completed skeleton. Where was my completed skeleton? Did I see a completed skeleton? I did not see a completed skeleton, so I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe we have to complete the skeleton? Let's open this up and find out. That is a lot of decals. Oh boy. Alright, let's take a look. Again, design-wise, it's different. It's funky, and it really reminds me of, what was it, the Gundam Aquarius from one of the old, like, PlayStation 1 SD Gundam G Generation games. It's been a good hot minute since that came out. Okay, here's all the sprue breakdown. Head unit, body unit. What are they talking about that it has a completed skeleton? I was under the impression that all of that was going to be built for me, but no, it does not look like that. It looks like I am going to be building it from the beginning. That's okay. I can live with that. There are English translations for the various icons, so do not fret about that. It's not all in Chinese. I do like, this seems to be an ongoing thing with a lot of these newer kits. where they actually give you a parts breakdown, which sprues you need. They don't highlight which ones, but at least they're getting you in the right direction, so that's always appreciated. It does look fairly detailed in terms of putting everything together. I'm kind of used to at this point where you have like the motor nuclear kits that have just big, fat manuals full of, you know, but they go step by step for you, whereas this looks like they're going to cut down on that and you got to kind of, you know, piece it together on your own. Again, it's just got an interesting, we don't see those kinds of purpley blues that often with mecha stuff. That is a lot of decals, but you know what? It looks really neat with them. Maybe I'll suck it up and actually try it. All right, that is enough of that. Let us be brave and attempt to build it, and we will show you the results soon, so sit tight. All right, we got the Redeem, which is a weird name in and of itself, all put together here. And I gotta say, I'm actually really happy with this thing. The colors especially, they're just so different, and I really feel that this is the closest I'm going to ever get to a full-size Gundam Aquarius, which, again, was one of my favorite SD kits. Now, big point of contention for myself, at least, was his goofy backpack, which obviously is going to be totally removable. And he's pretty flexible and posable. I'm not going to waste your guys' time talking about that. He's got these little plugs in here, and a lot of this stuff is actually fairly modular. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have to use these stupid and have these thruster things. Well, you can and you can't, obviously. There are various versions of, these are the plugs for that if you want to have the beam sabers as like some kind of thruster jet flame ignition stuff shooting out the back. I thought it looked strange because there's a spot for one more. I actually have that last one hooked on right here to make his big giant spear. He does have a bit of a struggle holding this thing up. It is kind of top heavy, which he is as well with these crazy thrusters sticking out everywhere behind him. The thrusters themselves are fairly flexible as well, so if you want to do fun things, turn them into cannons, what have you, that's always a fun possibility. Another fun possibility is the fact that these shields actually can attach as extra thrusters back there. Personally, I like them on the arms, gives them a little bit of a different look. I've got him attached to that base for the moment just because, as I said, he is quite back heavy with those things, but he's fairly sturdy without it. I don't see a lot of sagging joints or anything like that. Something I felt I've come across in stuff like, well, I've got like the In-Era, is it In-Era? The Genesis right here. You can't even see. I felt with all of the goodies that are hanging off him, he tends to have a little bit weaker waist joint, and that stand is like a lifesaver godsend for him, whereas the Redeem here actually holds his own fairly well. He just really needs that stand to keep himself completely upright. Not a bad trade-off. Here is his big fancy gun, and I don't know why it makes me think of Xenogears. You tell me. I don't know. Again, maybe it's just the coloration of the kit itself. Could be. And it was kind of cool to have all of the translucent parts available both in orange and red. I opted for the orange versions, if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell. But it is always a nice, appreciated bonus when model makers toss that stuff in here. That head is fairly unique, too. I mean, overall, yeah, it's got a lot of Gundam-esque call-outs in terms of its design, but it is fairly original, even if it does seem to prescribe to the unfortunate trend of let's just add a bunch of spikes, joints, and bits and call it a day with a lot of these, you know, original kits. But that's the thing also, is that it is an original kit. It's got some pretty unique looking skirt armor. The thruster shoulders are kind of different. The head's different. And the shields are pretty nice. The legs don't really remind me of anything in particular, which is always a plus. And I do like the back skirt armor as well. So overall, I got to say it's a nice sturdy kit, especially for a first-time company. This is the first release from, I don't even know who put this thing out, but, you know, they are out there. And considering some of the stuff we've gotten to see coming down the pipeline and previews for it, there are just a slew of these types of kits coming out in the future, which I, for one, am all for. So I can guarantee as long as I can get my hands on it, it'll probably end up on this channel at one point or another. That is a pretty funky spear blade. I'm wondering if I could mess around and add the other red version on there as well. That'd be kind of fun. And so like all these thrusters also can collapse and expand and fun stuff like that. But overall, gotta say, nice kit. Let's see, what do I have handy to give you guys a comparison to? A Gundam, 1/144th Gundam. You can see it barely doesn't even go up to its waist. The motor nuclear kits, which are like my gold standard for the Chinese developed model kits. Fairly similar sized. I don't have any... One of these days I gotta get some new Bandai Master Grade kits. I have not built one in a long time. I keep looking at the Eclipse, but then I want like all the add-on packs, so... I do have Exodia handy still. So he's about the same size as Exodia, if that's any kind of an indicator. But for the price, you know, he's roughly the same cost as most of these three here. Himself being one of them too, obviously. So, you know, it's not going to break the bank. It's going to get you a lot of bang for your buck. The undergates. We forgot to mention the undergates on this thing were ridiculous. But I'd say if you've built any of these Chinese kits, the undergates on a lot of these are just pretty much standard operating procedures. So get yourself a good pair of clippers if you don't already have them, which you should probably have some anyways if you're building models of this size. Again, honestly, I'd say if you're interested, grab it while you can, because that's the problem with kits like these, is they seem to have fairly limited runs and they disappear relatively quickly thereafter. So if it looks interesting, start doing that research. I got mine through ShowZ. I mean, I don't have any kind of, you know, affiliated link or anything like that. Just happy hobbyist like many of you. So that's where I've always got mine. They've never steered me wrong yet, other than some crumpled up boxes in the mail, but I blame the post office for that more than the company itself. They tend to have them pretty heavily secured and packaged within their shipping measurement stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, with that said then, I'm going to let you guys go. This has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.